Cary Tagawa had a really good sense of humor. He knew what made him famous, and here's another example. Have a look at this.
You need to be here, or else.
I think he was in a hurry to say that, but yeah, you get the drift.
You do believe in fate, don't you, Kenna?
So much of everything about life being timing, it was the perfect timing. In that Mortal Kombat as a video game, by the time we did the film, it was on number 4 or 5, and the movie itself, the impact, had to do with certainly the build of the video games, and at that time, other games, Double Dragon, Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat struck a nerve. And especially with the genius of an Englishman, 28-year-old Paul Anderson.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I certainly wasn't expecting to be making this type of video today, but sadly, I have to make a video regarding the passing away, the very sad passing away of Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa. You know this actor, you know him by face, even if you don't know his name. So I'll just pay my customary tribute, as I like to, with certain people whose careers have meant a lot to me, and Cary is no exception to the rule. So as reported by Variety, the actor who appeared in so many things that you will sit back and you'll go, oh my God, that's him. I remember him from Rising Sun. And he had some certain scenes in that movie that I couldn't get out of my head. But obviously, we know him from Mortal Kombat. If you're a gamer, you'll know exactly where I'm coming from on this one. 75, he passed away due to complications from a stroke. It's just scary to hear stuff like that. But from Pat Saperstein from Variety, Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa, who played the evil sorcerer Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat franchise, and appeared in The Last Emperor, License to Kill, one of my all-time favorite Bond movies, The Man in the High Castle, sadly passed away Thursday in Santa Barbara. So a rep confirmed he died of complications from a stroke, just 75, like I said before. His first film role was in Bernardo Bertolucci's The Last Emperor. I've never seen that film, so I don't know what it's like. I can't attest that I've watched it and thought it was a brilliant film. I've heard it's critically acclaimed, but I've never seen it. Then he was the villain Kwang in James Bond, the James Bond film License to Kill. On TV, of course, I will show you some of these TV highlights in a second. Baywatch, Not Landing, which is, okay, incredible. But I think where he got the biggest fan base from was as Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. You know, you watch that scene and I just get shivers down my spine even as I speak about it now. But I'll talk about that a bit more in a second. His manager Margie Weiner said that I had the privilege of representing Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa for many years as his longtime manager, but our relationship grew into something far deeper. He became like family. Cary was a rare soul, generous, thoughtful, and endlessly committed to his craft. His loss is immeasurable. My heart is with his family, friends, and all who loved him. Other film roles included Snow Falling on Cedars, Pearl Harbor, Planet of the Apes, Memoirs of a Geisha, and Man in the High Castle, which I did start to watch and it looked interesting, but I didn't get back into it. But he was Minister Nobusuke Tagomi in Netflix's Lost in Space, where he played Hiroyuki Watanabe. I haven't seen that Lost in Space adaptation yet on Netflix, so let me know if it's worth watching. So though he often played villains, Tagawa told the Honolulu Advertiser in 2007 that typecasting was inevitable at the time. Guaranteed I wouldn't have gotten to play the good guys if I hadn't played those bad guys, which is so well said, absolutely spot on. Because if you know for one thing, then the doors will be open for you to try something else. It's like you always have the actor or actress that plays like a really nice person. Hugh Grant is who I think of, and then suddenly he does this turnabout in About a Boy, then obviously Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman much later on. So that's probably, maybe not the strongest example I can think of, but that's what comes to mind. It's something that you take pride in, being not only the best Asian bad guy you can be, but be the best of all the bad guys. I wasn't willing to do anything to get in, but I think I developed the ability to take what I was given and do the best job I could, he said. So he's born to an actress mum and a Japanese American father, because his heritage is Russian and Japanese and obviously American. Tagawa attended high school near LA where he first started acting, then attended USC. He began teaching his own style of martial arts called Chushin. Wow. So he's survived by his children Kalen, Byrne and Kana, and 2 grandchildren, River and Thea Clayton. Wow, holy shit, man, that was a shock. I can't remember what the last thing I saw Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa in, but when I did see him, he looked a bit frail. But it, you know, that's by the by, isn't it? You know, people will age eventually over time, but it's just a bit sad to see these sort of things happening. And this was from 6 years ago, I beg your pardon. I think there's some rest in peace comments already in there. There you go. So rest in peace, legend. So sad. Give that a like. We'll just watch some of this and then I'll show you something else quickly. But before I do that, hang on a second. Oh, you're kidding. Let's have a look at this.
Your soul is mine.
Yeah, I forgot that he lent his voice to the same character Shang Tsung for Mortal Kombat 11. And by the way, he had such an affection for the video game as well. Not sure if he ever actually played it, but he obviously understood that that game alone, that franchise, really helped to elevate his career. That is such a cool... They did the mocap on him really well, actually. I assume this is mocapped, by the way, from NetherRealms. But let's just have a look at the other thing I was after.
I'm Toshiki Endo, and you gentlemen have just insulted the Yakuza. Have a nice life.
Cary's delivery of just what would be mediocre lines in any other actor's mouth, and the way he says things like, you take the guy seriously, you just don't F around with him at all. You just don't. But I wanted to look at this quick interview here from Red Carpet Media, which I thought was really, really cool, actually. That, like, this guy is a good-looking dude, man, and it's just... and this was 6 years ago, so let's just have a look at this.
Because there were so many fans, it's as if kids would be playing every day like monks, you know, in their own little temples, and all of a sudden we gave them a church to come to, the Mortal Kombat church. All the monks
Amen,
came
brother.
out of hiding. And became a family. Very unusual, because I didn't grow up in video game time, but to watch it was quite a phenomenon. And I think to this day, even with Mortal Kombat 11 coming out, there's such a family feel to the people, to the fans. Interesting. After 25 years since the film, you know, I'm gonna ramble for a second.
No, ramble,
But
dude,
I'm
ramble.
very, very excited about this millennial generation. I think there's such potential for this generation. And to have played a character, been in a movie that has affected this generation in a certain section so heavily. I'm excited to become a teacher. I am a teacher. I've developed systems that I want to share with them, develop a whole sort of way of thinking that has to do with, in the essential part of myself, grounded and centered very much from the martial arts I think it's going to be critical for this generation to learn that. And learn the difference between what is real, what is not. My biggest deal is don't get caught up in the hype. Hype is the worst four-letter word I know.
Amen. Amen.
That's so typical, you know, in our world that business uses hype and gets people worked up so far beyond any semblance of balance. And I'm all about balance. How to find that way to make your way through this chaos. How to find a point at which you can always have your own center. So, I'm ready.
Amen. Oh man, that was so cool. I had not seen that before. I might have watched it a long time ago, maybe 6 years ago, just never saw that. And it's true what he said, like FOMO, the fear of missing out. I hate all that shit. I used to be such a victim of it as well, but nowadays, like Mr. Tagawa said, just go out and just go out and touch some grass. Well, for me, it's going to Japan. Like, I went in 2018. I desperately want to go back again. Hopefully next year. Can't guarantee that it will because I've got personal commitment to take care of at home, which is what it is. But I always feel like my spiritual home is Japan anyway. And going there, until you go there, you won't actually know. So I know what Gary means, or Cary means, because it's more like I just want to sit back and just not get caught up in anything. The trouble with this millennial generation now, it's all about grabbing this, grabbing that. And when I was growing up, and certainly when Mr. Tagawa was growing up, it was just playing with toys that your parents could afford to buy you, or maybe given as a present. Do you know what I mean? But you know, folks, man, this was a tough one to get through. I have to admit, I was shedding a few tears before this recording started, but I'm all right now actually. But you know what? We have to end this the only way that I know how we can end my obituary video here. So before I actually go, RIP Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa, absolute legend. Your face, your voice, your presence will never be forgotten, sir. My love to you and your family. Never met you. Wish I did when I worked at the front door of Planet Hollywood. I think if we had met, it would have been a blast. But come on, we have to do this, guys. You know we've got to go to this immortal scene here. And on the next video, folks, I'll catch you catching me for the return of you know what.
Your brother's soul